How to control humans, lizard Jews. Tell them a story. One or two humans will actually have found that you lied. That's when you know you have a filter bubble. And this is how you control humans. Yes, Galactic Help Desk, helping you understand things you should have known long ago. Zoran, what can I do for you today? How to control humans? That's actually an easy one. First, get them to like you. If you don't know how to get humans to like you, there's a video about that on the channel, so check it out. Secondly, tell them a story. A compelling story they will like. It doesn't have to be true. It doesn't even have to be close to the truth. Just make sure it's coherent, right? So any nonsense will do. Like you can tell them the world is run by lizard people wearing human skins. Or by Jews. Just when telling them that, make sure to point to very important Jews running important sections of the planet and pointing out that they are Jews. So if you point to 1, 2, 3, 4 Jews that have that sort of position in the world, and then if 2 or 3 of them happen to have anything in common, like being Jews, it's a pretty coherent story as long as you don't mention any other humans who run important sections of the planet who are not Jews. No, don't worry. I mean, of course, not everybody will believe that, but hey, do the math yourself. Suppose you tell 100 humans who like you that story. They will all be inclined to believe you only because they like you. So out of those 100 humans who like you, how many would actually doubt you enough to go and check your story, like go and Google it? Suppose it's 10, 15 humans, maybe 20. So suppose 20 humans go online and Google lizard people are running the world. All of them will get confirmation of their search. That's just the way human search engines work. You will always find something that confirms your search query. So out of those 20 humans who have found confirmation of your story, how many do you think will go and check a second source, just in case? Maybe half. Okay, so 10. 10 humans make the effort to double check the story. So they have now 2 sources claiming that the Earth is run by lizard people. Out of these 10, how many do you think will actually invest the time it takes to investigate the credibility of the source? Like really dig into who's behind it, what are the sub-sources to that source, how did it even come about? I mean, that's a lot of work, right? So how many out of those 10 humans would do that? Well, our data shows that it's usually 1 or 2. So out of 100 humans who have heard your story and who like you by default, 1 or 2 humans will actually have found that you lied. And they may like you less for that. Or may not. Maybe they will like your lie. That happens a lot with humans. So out of those 1 or 2 humans, it's usually no more than 1 that actually take the effort of telling other humans that you lied. And they usually don't have the same access to the 100 humans who you told your story to, so their objections will be heard only by a small fraction of humans who are inclined to trust you. And out of those humans who do hear the objection from this one human, whom do you think they will trust? You or the human? Well, since they were stupid enough to trust you in the very first place, probably none of them will trust this other guy who they probably don't even know, who has not gained their respect yet, so you're pretty safe. And I mean, honestly, any story out there that a human tells, be it true or false, there is always at least one human who will object to that. What if somebody they do trust tells them that your story is a lie? Oh, that's important. When telling your story, make sure to mention anyone who is important enough who may object to it at some point and point them out as either complicit or liars. Yeah, even if it's the media, especially if it's the media. Tell them the media is complicit. Yes, I know you cannot generalize media like that, but if you're human, you can. Just call it the media, and whoever who works within media shows up and objects to your story at a later point, just say, I told you so, the media objects, they are complicit, they are all lizard people controlled. Or there are lizard people, and they're probably Jews too. Jewish lizard people, lizard Jews. It's a new kind of Jew, the lizard Jew, really dangerous Jews who have lizard skin and control planets. If someone who you haven't mentioned in advance shows up and questions your story, use labels. Labels are these simple words that even the stupidest humans understand, like fake news, racist, lefty, PC, Muslim, establishment. They are really useful in discrediting anyone. If you can't think of a fitting label, use the label inappropriate. It's a brilliant label. It allows you to discredit anything without actually having to explain what's wrong with it. Labels are so effective that everybody who likes you will by default assume that the label is true. They will also assume that everything that a labeled person does or says is wrong by definition, and that it's pointless to even try to understand their point of view. Once you label somebody, everyone else who dislikes the meaning of that label will start treating that person as that label suggests. So the labeled humans will feel unwelcome and subsequently leave. Very few will actually stay and enjoy all the hatred and mockery they will be exposed to from your fans. And everyone who's left will feel very encouraged and pleased with themselves for having purged unnecessary and harmful elements from wherever they roam together with their like-minded humans. Those who like you will praise each other for their vigilance of keeping the wrong ideas out, and gradually you will see a bubble of mutual admiration grow around these humans, engulfing everybody who's in it and filtering away everybody who doesn't fit in. When that process is complete, that's when you know you have a filter bubble. If you let them stay in that bubble for a while, it will become an echo chamber. And once you have one, you have the perfect conditions for unleashing war and terror and chaos all around the planet. All you need to do is pierce a hole in each echo chamber and connect them by a thin pipe of information flow. It's like wiring thunderbolts together. Humans living in different echo chambers cannot tolerate each other at all. They are not receptive to each other's opinions. They consider each other enemies and they will not listen to each other. They will clash as soon as you bring them together, and no talk of conciliation and unity will ever work on them because they have so little respect and so little faith in the good nature of the other side that they are absolutely alien to the mere idea of a civil and respectful dialogue between them and the opposite side. As long as humans in one echo chamber are certain that the opinions of the humans in the other echo chamber are unacceptable, there will be no peace. And the way things are looking right now, humans aren't actually making much effort to get close to each other's points of view. They may talk about tolerance and being tolerant, but that tolerance is usually conditioned to accepting certain dogmas and certain ideas that may not be acceptable to the other side. And that creates this situation where both sides consider the other side to be violating the most basic ideals and moral principles of humanity, which are of course very different for each filter bubble and each echo chamber. So there can be no peace. And this, my friend, is how you control humans. Was this fair enough in your opinion? Hit like if you agree. If you don't agree, tell me why in the comments. I'm Michael Sender and this is Aliens About Humans, where we try to look at human life through the lens of an alien. If you agree with what this is amazing. Okay, if you agree with the fucking hell, if you agree with what you just heard,